crash, in a car accident in which Anthony Joshua survived. His uncle quoted to Nigerian publications, the major thing there is that he has retired from boxing. That is one thing that makes us glad, because each time he's fighting in the ring, we are always carried away emotionally. Adedamola Joshua told Nigerian outlet The Punch. He also quoted, each time he's knocked down, it is just like the heart is coming out of our chest. All these emotional feelings whenever he's fighting is too much trauma for us also. Now that he has said that he is leaving while the ovation is highest, we are happy.
This tragedy, it appears to be getting worse. Everything that I've heard involving this Anthony Joshua incident that recently took place in Nigeria is bad. There's not been one almost like silver lining or redemptive quality that I've heard. And again, like I said, if you care about the next chapter of the heavyweight division, you should truly be affected by this.
And there you have it, guys. There is the uncle of Anthony Joshua claiming that Anthony Joshua has retired. The former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua is seriously considering retirement from boxing, according to his uncle, Adedamola Joshua. Joshua, of course, was injured in a car collision last week.
Word just came down from Anthony Joshua's family circle, and it's massive news. His uncle went public, confirming what many suspected. AJ has officially walked away from professional boxing. The devastating car accident that claimed the lives of two precious team members broke something inside the champion. He's choosing life and family over everything else right now, stepping back from the sport that transformed into a household name worldwide.
It's just a sport. Boxing sport is not more important than life. It's not. It's a sport. Put it in perspective. Who cares whether he carries on boxing? That's not the thing. You know, human lives have been lost. You can never. That's price. You can't get them back. It's priceless. You can't get it back. What does boxing matter? You know what I mean? It don't matter one bit. That's what I'm saying to you. It's like, but sometimes you get these reality checks in life.
Duke McKenzie broke down exactly why Joshua's choice makes complete sense. This isn't some rash decision from an emotional wreck. AJ's always been sharp, calculated, mature beyond most fighters his age. The accident shattered more than just cars and lives. It shifted his entire perspective on what really matters. McKenzie sees the wisdom in walking away while you still can. Joshua already built an incredible legacy that nobody can touch. The writing's on the wall, and soon we'll hear it straight from AJ's mouth. He's putting healing first, family first, safety first. That takes real courage and shows incredible growth as a human being.
I'm sure of that. And he's not a silly man. He's not. And I would envisage over the next few months, he will announce his official.
Eddie Hearn painted the full picture of why this retirement feels so final. Sure, the accident triggered everything, but Joshua's body has been sending signals for months. Years of punishment, brutal training camps, wars inside those ropes. His physical condition played a huge role in this decision. Sometimes your body tells you when enough is enough. AJ's listening to those signals now, prioritizing long-term health over short-term glory. Recovery and well-being matter more than any belt or payday. Smart fans recognize this kind of big picture thinking from a true champion.
No, but it all depends on his body. I mean, that, you know, I wasn't being facetious before, but like, you never know the landscape of this, but more likely he's thought this is a good time to bow out, or got a few niggles and I don't.
Sir Oliver perfectly captured what we're all losing here. Joshua brought something special to heavyweight boxing that goes way beyond wins and losses. The man had magnetism, electricity, that rare ability to fill arenas just by showing up. His retirement creates a massive hole in the division because nobody else carries that same star power. AJ inspired generations of young fighters with his combination of skill, heart, and genuine character. Britain just lost one of its greatest boxing ambassadors, and the sport feels smaller without him.
Without a doubt, it's not just that he's a big personality and he sells fights so well and he's a big character, and the press conferences, the build-up to fights, and what he delivers in the ring. The guy is a serious talent, and he'll be missed when he's retired. That is for sure.
Eddie Hearn opened up about battles Joshua fought that cameras never captured, the mental warfare, crushing pressure, psychological struggles that eat fighters alive behind closed doors. Boxing destroys minds just as much as bodies, and Joshua's decision shows he understands that reality. Protecting his mental health takes incredible bravery in a sport that worships toughness above everything else. Fans seeing his human side makes his courage to step away even more powerful. Those mental health challenges he's faced add serious weight to this retirement choice.
Anthony's, if he's got these guys with him as part of his team, they're close aides, close friends. He's going to have lost 2 very close friends, 2 members of his team who are part of his mental, psychological and spiritual scaffolding. He will have to recover from this in all those ways, as well as physically.
Gareth Davies connected the emotional devastation to Joshua's physical and spiritual state. Losing 2 close team members in that crash didn't just hurt, it fundamentally changed how he sees boxing, life, everything. Davies reminds us that fighting involves way more than throwing punches. Personal tragedy can break even the strongest champions completely. Joshua needs time, support, and space to process this trauma before considering anything else. Recovery happens on multiple levels, and he's nowhere near ready to think about comebacks.
So this retirement, I'm not sure if it's genuine. Maybe it is, but I don't know what he's going to do now he's retired. But the fact of the matter is, he's announced his retirement. He's either trying to leverage for more money, putting himself in position, so he's got people begging for him to come out, or he's actually genuinely going to retire. Not sure what he's going to do.
Dr. Carl Froch brought up the skeptical angle, that some retirements aren't really retirements. Fighters sometimes play strategic games with these announcements for leverage or attention, but given what Joshua just survived, this feels completely different. Froch's typical boxing cynicism doesn't really apply here. This retirement stems from genuine necessity, life-changing trauma, and a man choosing sanity over sport. When tragedy strikes this hard, walking away becomes the only logical response.
In Nigeria, it's just sad. It just makes you realise how valuable life is and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing your life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these 2 men who were somebody's child, someone's brother, and that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their life.
Johnny Nelson captured the heartbreak that goes beyond any boxing storyline. Real-life tragedy makes all the rivalry, drama, and title talk seem absolutely meaningless. Losing 2 team members so suddenly changes everything about how you see the world. Joshua faces emotional challenges that make his toughest fights look like sparring sessions. Nelson's words remind everyone that life's fragility matters more than any championship. Mental recovery becomes the real fight now, and Joshua's resilience gets tested in ways the ring never prepared him for.
God bless you, AJ. You're one lucky lad. God bless you, my lad. Glad you're alive again. Shocked me, it has. Terrible. Anyway, good luck, everybody, and try and enjoy the new year as much as you can.
John Fury focused on the most important thing. Anthony Joshua survived something that could have killed him. Titles, fame, legacy, none of that matters when you almost lose your life. Fury's perspective cuts through all the boxing politics to what really counts. Surviving that crash gives Joshua a different view of how precious and unpredictable life really is. Now he shifts focus from boxing to healing, from training to spending time with people who matter most. Even world champions are just human beings trying to make sense of tragedy.
Through such a severe car accident there, like, all right, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living, and obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care because you don't want to.
The physical impact of Joshua's crash goes deeper than anyone realizes. This is a man trained to absorb incredible punishment, handle pain that would cripple ordinary people. But this accident hit him on levels that boxing never could. His body and mind need serious care and extended time to heal properly. Fans see AJ's strength and assume he's indestructible, but this incident exposed how vulnerable even elite athletes really are. Choosing recovery over fighting shows maturity that transcends sport completely.
Around them.
Be there for them and the family, anything they need. You know, sometimes when someone is a star, they have a lot of things in their life taken care of for them. So you really have to move into that mode in this situation as well. Make sure, obviously, they're getting the best medical attention, make sure their family are safe and happy and as happy as can be.
Joshua's support system becomes absolutely critical during this recovery period. Beyond winning fights and earning paydays, he faces life's ultimate test right now. Healing emotionally and physically while protecting his family requires a different kind of strength. His management and friends must prioritize safety, care, and well-being over everything else. Champions are only as strong as the people surrounding them, and Joshua needs that support network more than ever before.
Some very interesting and germane points you make there in this moment, Raheem. That I think what I've noticed, that obviously there were a kind of panoply of opinions about him fighting Jake Paul to take it back a week and a half. I mean, I was critical of that fight being signed, first of all, because I worried about the dangers for Jake Paul. He got his jaw broken at the end of the day, and kind of used the scars as a flag in his new moon, delusionally optimistic in his words, as he is about these things. So Anthony Joshua went to America a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, played the role which he needed to play, was very classy throughout.
Despite all the criticism over certain fight choices, Joshua always carried himself with pure class and professionalism. Even controversial decisions were made with careful thought and respect for the sport. This perspective reinforces that AJ's choices both inside and outside the ring come from genuine consideration. His reputation as a thoughtful, respected champion makes this retirement decision carry even more weight throughout the boxing community.
Alexander Usyk said, "This is an unbelievable loss. Sinna and Latif are two incredible people who were not only part of AJ's team, but also friends. My sincere condolences to their families, loved ones, and everyone who knew them. Anthony Joshua, wishing you a speedy recovery. Stay strong, champ."
Alexander Usyk understood the human impact behind Joshua's accident better than most. He recognized that AJ didn't just lose teammates but genuine friends, emphasizing how crushing that emotional weight must feel. Boxing fans sometimes forget that fighters are real people with deep relationships and feelings. Usyk's response shows authentic respect and solidarity within the boxing world. Joshua now battles grief, loss, and trauma. While trying to recover physically, his mental toughness faces the ultimate test outside any ring. Usyk's acknowledgement highlights the respect of fighters share beyond competition, revealing the human side of boxing that rarely gets attention. Ryan Garcia's reaction echoed throughout the entire boxing community. Fellow fighters understand dangers exist everywhere, not just between the ropes. Joshua surviving such a serious incident reminds everyone how unpredictable life can be. Garcia's response demonstrates the genuine concern athletes have for each other. Right now, nobody's thinking about fights or championships, just AJ's health and recovery. His peers recognize that mental and emotional healing matters more than any comeback timeline. Fans get reminded that champions face the same human vulnerabilities as everyone else. Joshua's journey back requires physical rehabilitation, emotional strength, mental resilience, and incredible support from everyone around him.
Anthony Joshua's SUV struck the stationary truck. So I just want to give you guys the breaking news. Unfortunately, Anthony Joshua was involved in a car accident in Nigeria. Prayers to Anthony AJ Joshua. And
the shocking details of Anthony Joshua's car crash highlight just how severe and unexpected this incident really was. A stationary truck collision adds layers of randomness and tragedy that nobody could predict or prevent. News like this sends concern waves through fans and the boxing community worldwide. Joshua's fighting legacy gets temporarily overshadowed by human drama that puts everything in perspective. Health and family suddenly matter more than any sporting achievement. Support pours in globally, showing how Joshua's impact reaches far beyond boxing itself. The accident proves how unpredictable life can be, reminding everyone that even champions remain vulnerable to circumstances beyond their control. Anthony Joshua's devastating car crash and the heartbreaking loss of two beloved team members created shockwaves that extend far beyond boxing. This story transcends sports, becoming a powerful reminder that life changes instantly, and even the strongest people face challenges no training can prepare them for. Joshua confronts an incredibly difficult path of physical recovery and emotional healing while processing grief and reflecting on what his legacy really means. Should he fully recover and choose to return, it would prove his incredible resilience and unbreakable spirit, showing that true champions rise from any adversity. Alternatively, choosing permanent retirement demonstrates wisdom, prioritizing health, safety, and family over glory, and proving maturity beyond his years. Fans and experts debate what emerges from this ordeal, but Joshua's future, regardless of direction, represents one of boxing's most compelling and important storylines ever.